I guess with that, John, obviously the fundamentals here of the market are great. They
Yep.
are fantastic, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every single property, every single project is a good buy necessarily. Just like anywhere, there's good developers, bad developers, that type of thing. So I guess maybe what are some of the key considerations that people should be aware of when purchasing here?
Yeah, I think the main thing is we need to really understand what the reason for their purchase is. Are they going to be an end user? Are they going to be an investor? Is it a good ROI they're looking at? So I think it's really qualification of the client. As you said, understanding their wants and needs, and then really finding a good developer that's going to suit them. So one that's obviously a reputable developer that's going to finish on time. We look at obviously exit strategies with clients, that if they're going to purchase a property, that if they needed to sell that for some reason to access their money in a hurry, that it's going to be obviously with a reputable developer in a good area, not going to have an oversupply that would be then easy to on-sell to another investor or an end user. So I think the main thing is really qualifying the clients. There's all different types of payment plans that they have here, which is different to Australia. Where in Australia you'd have your 10% down, then 90% on completion. Here you can have payment plans where it could be 30% through construction, 70% of completion, 50-50, some are even 80-20, and some can have post-completion payment plans, over 5 years. So it's really understanding the client's needs, what their budget is, what funds they have, where the funds are, so that we then know what project to actually present to them. And I think as a group here at Haus, we have some really good off-plan investment consultants that we work alongside that have been here for 18, 20 years. So they know the market inside out. So we tend to sit down as a group and we work on what are the best investments for our clients. And then we would then present that based on what their requirements are and their needs.
100%. I think one of the great things about Haus is we really do work as a collective. And as you said, some of the senior people here have been in the market for 20 years. They've seen a bunch of different things. And I guess we're not looking to just sell a property to someone for the sake of selling it. We want to sell a property to someone that's going to make them money and obviously achieves their outcome. Some people might be coming over, want a family home to live in, no problems. But at the end of the day, for any investors out there, we are looking to put them in the best possible property that will make them money, achieve their objective. And if we do that, John, chances are they might buy another one, or they'll tell their friends, their family. And I guess that's part of the reason why Haus has grown so much over the last 11 years.
Yeah, and we have all different divisions within Haus. So we've got obviously off-plan investments, but we have a resale section, which is huge. We have leasing, we have holiday letting. We do property management. We also have our own maintenance company. So I think the good thing is when you're buying with a company like Haus, you have that sort of backup where we can assist you in every field. We can help you with visas. We can help you with finance. We can help, just with pretty much everything you need. We're sort of your one-stop shop, I believe, as a company.
And I guess the other hard part as well, John, is because of the heat of the market and being so active, sometimes the hardest part for us as consultants is trying to actually get units at the time of launch. Or in one of these new projects. You can imagine if a really good project comes up and there's only 250 to 300 units in the building, and you've got a swarm of people wanting to take part. Certainly being part of that bigger agency with existing relationships built over a long period of time with these developers, it certainly helps us, sort of get in pre-launch, access to exclusive stock, all those type of things, that are very important, because it can be very difficult to get units in this market.
I think until people actually miss out on getting something, they don't realise how the market works here. We might be saying, look, this is going to sell out. They think we're just trying to be a typical salesperson and just try and get that sale, but it's just a different type of market here. I think it's just all about educating people, and I think that's something that we've learnt, how the market works here, completely different to Australia.
Yeah, and then I guess in terms of that why now, people miss out on something at today's prices. The next launch or the next building in that section could be 5, 10%, even 15% more the next time around. So hence the urgency is on, trying to get it done as soon as possible.
Definitely. Yep.
So I guess something that we've done as well, John, is we've talked about some numbers in the state of the market, but we've got a couple of examples of some direct comparisons. So one thing that I know a lot of Australians will be looking at is sort of that typical house and land package investment property type thing. So I was just having a bit of a look on realestate.com and talking to some people I know back home. And if you were to look at, say, Melbourne as an example, your most affordable corridor would be the western suburbs. So working off the most affordable sort of conventional 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, double-car garage, house and land package on a 350 square metre block, roughly that'd cost you about 650,000 Australian dollars, give or take. in terms of your rental return, you'd probably average about $450 per week, which would bring you to around about $23,500 per annum. But as we know, you've got some deductions with that. You've got your council rates, you've got your water rates, you've got your property insurance, your property management fee. So it brought it down to about 19,000 Australian dollars in terms of the net return, which was only about 2.9%. Right? So I guess a lot of people watching this and Australians out there be thinking, all right, well, what could I get in Dubai for that type of money? So 650,000 Australian dollars is about 1.6 million dirhams. That could get you a 1-bedroom in a branded residence, fully furnished apartment off plan with a payment plan, over 45 odd amenities in the building by a reputable developer, trusted brand. And in terms of what your returns could be on that, because it's right in the middle of Business Bay, which is very close to the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, Dubai Mall, the world's largest shopping mall. So right in the center of Dubai, basically, is where you'd be getting this property, which would be very popular for short-term rentals. So even at an 80% occupancy rate, that'd generate about 204,000 dirhams per year. And, you know, once again, to be fair, take away the service charges, which is your owner's corporation equivalent, your management fees, property insurance, all that type of thing. That'd be about 65,000 dirhams in terms of operating expenses. So take that away from your 204, you're getting a net of about 139,000 dirhams, which in Australian dollars is about 57,000. Australian dollars. So for the same sort of money, instead of getting a 19,000 net rental return per year, you know, you're getting 57,000 over here.
Which 3 times.
Yeah, with about 8.7%. And instead of being, you know, sort of in a slower market back in Victoria, you're in the busiest real estate market in the world now, right in the center of the action. So, you know, it's pretty dramatic comparison, isn't it?
And I also looked recently on Property Monitor, and I think in Business Bay they had about a 63% capital increase over the last 2 years. So if you add that, obviously it could change moving forward. But Business Bay, you're getting less plots. I think there will be less being built there over time, so the prices will go up. But yeah, you're going to get a lot of capital appreciation, which you need to add on to that ROI.
Yeah, and I suppose looking at, you know, Dubai moving forward in terms of like the price per square metre index for all around the world with your major cities, you know, Dubai is only sitting at about number 75 right now. Sydney, by comparison, is number 9 on that. Then you've got your Hong Kong, Singapore right at the top. So the fact that Dubai is only sitting at 75, there's still a lot of room for Dubai to move forward before it's even in the same bracket as, you know, your Sydneys, your Londons, your New Yorks, etc.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. I did a quick comparison on a Sydney apartment, a 1-bedroom in Ascot, with a reputable developer. Very similar cost to what you said, taking out all the costs. It was around about just under 3% again. For that was working on about 800,000 Australian, where here you could spend 2 million, where you could get a 2-bedroom plus, say, maids, and you'd be getting a similar return of about 8% as well. So I think the comparison is when you actually speak to people and let them know the actual ROI, you can see why so many people from around the world are investing here in Dubai.
Yeah, of course. And obviously with Dubai, you've got no income tax, no capital gains tax as well.
No
so
rental tax.
So even more appealing as well.
It definitely is.
So I guess, that scenario I used was of an apartment project in Business Bay. There's been a couple of other projects as well, which we're excited about and also sold a lot into. Do you want to give us a bit of info on those?
Yeah, so Acres is a great project that we've sold quite a few into with investors. It's a villa community, around about 1,200 standalone villas, and that is right next to Arabian Ranches, which is probably one of the most well-known villa communities, or one of the original ones. So if you do a comparison for something that is being sold in Acres for around about, say, 10 million dirham, for the equivalent of something that might be in an older community that has been renovated, you're looking at about, say, 15. So there's a lot of capital appreciation to be made there. Obviously, you know, crystal lagoons that could be within this community, also different, you know, parks and theme parks that they have. So yeah, it's certainly something different that you would get from Australia, where you just have these estates that are built out there and there's not really the infrastructure or the actual planning. These are fully gated, secure communities. which you obviously like the community as well.
Oh, absolutely. I guess this was first launching late last year, and I know when we first started seeing some notifications about it, we were instantly pretty interested. And then when they sort of started releasing the pricing, we could instantly see that the price per square foot was quite a bit under the Arabian Ranches community, which is already fully established just next door. It came with a great payment plan. The master plan for acres as well, is arguably a lot better with everything they're putting through, as you said, the crystal lagoons and the different themed gardens. But I suppose this is where, having a trusted advisor on the ground can really come in, because, we're looking at the comparison saying, well, this is 1,700 dirhams per square foot. The established ones over here are 2,200 per square foot. There's obviously a bit of a gap here. We know that there's a shortage of villas in the marketplace as well. So something like this stood out to us immediately and thought, well, hang on, this is going to be a good buy that's going to make some people some money.
Yeah, no, definitely. And another one that we've been really excited about has been Expo City. So that's obviously in Dubai South, which is a huge hub area that they're part of their 2040 plan. So this is the old 2020 Expo site, where they put $25 billion of infrastructure in already. So there's already the metro there, they've got the Expo Centre, they've got the restaurants and everything set up there. They've got major sort of overseas companies that have moved there, like Siemens. They've had, what was the robotics one? Terminus. Terminus have moved there. They've got DP World. They've got Emirates. There's going to be this is a free zone, so a lot of businesses are being set up there. There's going to be about 40,000 staff that will work there. And then there's about 35,000 residents that are going to live there. Really well-designed community where it's a two-layered community where all of the actual cars come in underneath the community. So it's basically a carless community where they've got 24-hour buggy service driving you around, electric scooters, electric bikes that you can use, kinetic footpaths that power the lights at night. So very futuristic. There's an apartment building, Sidra, which is coming out soon, which is about to be launched. We have a really good relationship with that developer, where we can get access possibly early if clients come to us early enough. And I think that's going to be a great investment out there.
Yeah. Pretty unique in the sense that they spent 25 billion, for all the infrastructure for the expo, and that is now being repurposed to be the city centre of Dubai South, and in very close proximity to where the new airport is going in. So that's going to become the world's largest airport, and they're spending 128 billion dirhams on the airport, which by comparison, the Burj Khalifa only cost about 5 billion. To build the world's tallest building. So this is 23 times the cost of the Burj Khalifa that they're spending on the airport nearby. So I guess with that added infrastructure coming in and then repurposing the current infrastructure, to become the most sustainable city in I think on all of the UAE going forward is a really exciting opportunity. And I guess the two projects we've mentioned, we've been putting a lot of our clients into those areas who are already starting to see some capital appreciation as well.
Definitely, and they're saying there's going to be about 100,000 staff that will actually work at that airport. So, and then by the time Dubai South is complete, there'll be about 1 million people that will live in that area. So I think if you get in early enough now, you're going to have that growth